Good morning, everybody. Happy Bodhi Day. My name's Kathy Pike, and I will be your chairperson for today. Duh, really? Okay. Um, okay, welcome. Before we begin morning service, just a reminder that we all are here, no food, drinks in the Hondo, and also please turn off your cell phones. Thank you. We will begin with this morning service with opening meditation by sutra chanting Sambujo and Juseige on page 93 in the large book.
Today on this occasion, the San Jose Buddhist Church Betsuin's Bodhi Day Service, the members of the Betsuin have reverently come before me, the Buddha, with deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida. We reaffirm the three homages. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance.
Tenko
Please write for Gatha long ago in Asia on page 65 in the big book. And following by the small book, sorry. Please remain standing for the three treasure, page 3 in the Dharma school book.
Let's do offering first.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on, no. Sorry. Rinban just changed it. We're going to be doing offerings now. Huh? Okay, please be seated. Thank you. No.
Flowers, just so you know.
Yeah. Flowers. fruits. Candle and incense. Now we'll have Daiko Shoko from the other organization, Dharma School. Adult Buddhist Association. Buddhist Women's Association. Sanase Betsuin. Daisy Troop. Brownie Troop. Cute. Junior Cadets. Ambassadors. Cub Scouts. Boy Scout. Anybody else? Oh, Lotus Preschool. Sorry. Not on my list. Did I forget anybody else? What? No, Dharma school was just one. You're good. But you can come up and do Oshoko if you want to. Come on up. Dharma school, right? I hope so. Okay, now we'll have Gatha. Long ago in India, page 65 in the small book.
Long ago in India, a little babe was born, and all around were pretty flowers to greet that glorious morn. Far away in India, this babe began to grow, and all around were happy sights, so pain he did not know. Long ago in India, he studied hard from all. He learned so well, he soon became the greatest prince of all. Far away in India, the prince went out to see the city and its inhabitants, and felt great sympathy. Long ago in India, the prince decided to go and seek the way to save us from pain of birth and death. Far away in India, the prince had found the truth, and now he's Buddha wise and kind, with the way to peace. Golden chain, 3 treasures? Okay, 3 treasures on page 3. And we're going to change the last line, or the last verse of the unison reading part from universal brotherhood. We're going to change that to universal oneness, okay? That last section. All right. Hard is it to be born into human life? Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One? Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Thank you. Please be seated. I'm looking to Miss Kathy and saying, is it my turn now? Yeah, okay, I'm on. Good morning. Welcome to the Betsuin's Bodhi Day Service. This is the first time we've held this Bodhi Day Service here in our Hondo in a very, very long time. We kind of used to coming service here, observing our services, but our major services, especially Bodhi Day, Hana Matsuri, and the New Year's service were regularly held in the annex. But today I thought, we haven't been here for a long time. Our patterns have been changing, and so I thought it would be nice to be able to gather together here in the Hondo. And the plan was, if we were so crowded, we'd open up the windows and people stand outside on the veranda, and we can cut the service short. But fortunately, or I don't know, it's adjusting to the circumstances in our lives with the pandemic the way it is. That continues to be a concern for many people. Gathering together in large groups is still something that there is great concern over. So I thought, anyway, it would be nice to be able to gather together. We also don't have quite the ability yet to stream our services from the annex. So hopefully by New Year's Day, we'll be able to do that, to stream our services as we do normally from the Hondo. But that's why we're here. Here to observe today's Bodhi Day service of the Betsuin for the first time again in many years here in the Hondo, and it's very nice to be able to do that. Bodhi, of course, is the day that Shakyamuni Buddha, day of his enlightenment. It's a day that we kind of identify, we think about as an important part, of course, of our Buddhist tradition. But there's a lot of things that lead up to that time of his birth, of his enlightenment. Many things had happened to him that brought him to that point of his enlightenment. And as we talk about in our Dharma school classes, talk about all of those things that happened in his life, there were things that caused Siddhartha to kind of think about how he saw the world, how he was experiencing the world, and how the difficulties that he and others were experiencing was a question that he was going to try and answer. And that's why he left his home. Right? He left his home to kind of figure that out, to become more aware of what was going on in his life. And so for 6 years, he studied as an ascetic, went through many practices. These practices are still a part of traditions. Even in Buddhism, we have some of these practices that are still continued to this day. With Shinni, with Shinnan's wife, through her letters with Shinnan, we know that Shinnan, or letters to her daughter, Kakushinni, we know that Shinnan served as a doso in his stay up at Heizan. And one of the things that they did, and they still do today, is there is a chapel where there is a statue of Amida Buddha and a platform that goes around the circumference of the temple. And the practice is to walk around the image of the Buddha. And that's the practice that Shinran was involved in as well. But it's not just to walk around once or twice or 10 times or 100 times. They would walk around for days around the image of the Buddha. And you couldn't lie down, you couldn't sit down, you couldn't take a nap. And so there's a rope that kind of is on the, around this image, statue of Amida Buddha. And they would hold on to that as they would walk around. There is also, and this is up at Hiezan, again where Shina studied, there's also a practice that very few priests will undertake. And the seriousness with which they do this practice is when they are about to depart on this 1,000-day walk around Hiezan. That's like 3 years, right? You're walking constantly, you're moving constantly. They carry, the thing that they carry with them is a tanto, or a short blade, so that if they quit, they are supposed to take their own life. That's the seriousness with which this practice is undertaken. There are very few people who make that decision to walk this 1,000-day trip around Hiezan. The practice is test one's commitment to this decision. It tests one's physical abilities. It causes us to think about what we hold to be important. And so when Shakyamuni Buddha was practicing for those 6 years, it wasn't just, kind of, let's go find this out and see what's happening. But he was really committed to trying to find a way to resolve these questions that had begun to enter into his life. And so for 6 years he was doing these practices. And at the end he realized that it wasn't really helping his understanding of what was taking place. And so there was a story that at the end of this time he took his alms bowl and he placed it in a river. He says, if it flows downstream, I'll quit. If it flows upstream, I'll continue. And he put it in the water and it flowed upstream. And so he decided that he would continue. And so he sat under the Bodhi tree to think about what he had experienced. And it's in that time that Shakyamuni Buddha is confronted by Mara, who is the king of the underworld, and he challenges Siddhartha and tries to unseat Siddhartha from this seat of enlightenment. But Siddhartha persists, and he says later on, one of the most difficult questions that Mara posed to him was, why should you go out and share with others what you've experienced? Nobody will listen. Nobody will understand. Nobody will pay attention. And so you should just enjoy and completely go out, extinguish nirvana, experience nirvana on your own. But he said that, Siddhartha responded, and he said that even if one person understands, that it would be worth it. And so he decided to share what he experienced, to stand up from the seat of enlightenment and to enter the world of everyday life. That decision and that moment, right, that moment in all of the history that we have of Buddhism, that's the most important moment, I think, for us, the decision to stand up on the seat of enlightenment and to move into the world, to share with others what he had discovered. And I think when we consider our own lives, we have all kinds of challenges that we face. Challenges that sometimes are too overwhelming. Sometimes we feel as though we cannot move forward any longer. Sometimes these challenges we are able to work our way through with much difficulty, but still come out okay. In our lives, we experience many challenges. Last week, our refrigerator started to die. And so now we have to figure out we're going to have it replaced. We were told a year ago when it was starting to fall apart, we were told a year ago, you should replace your refrigerator. I said, okay. So we delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. And finally, we're going to get a refrigerator, I think delivered on Tuesday. But then we have to take everything out of the refrigerator, make sure that's okay, and hopefully it doesn't die during the weekend. But, with these kinds of challenges that we face in our lives, getting a refrigerator is not such a big challenge. But still, it's something that we have to work with, we have to contend with. In our lives, we have certainly greater difficulties than a refrigerator that stops working. We have friends and family who pass away, and certainly sometimes we have, it's difficult for us to find our way through what we are experiencing. But like Shakyamuni Buddha, like Shinran, we can begin to understand how connected we are to the world around us. That through this connection that we share with the world around us, we are supported, that we are nurtured and cared for, that this extended life that we are a part of is compassion itself. And compassion and wisdom are the two things that make up enlightenment. So Siddhartha's understanding of what he had experienced was expressed through compassion as he entered the world, to share with all beings his understanding of how we might be able to resolve the difficulties that we cause and experience. Today, as we participate in this Bodhi Day service, it's another service that we participate in. Like many other services, the focus is on Shakyamuni Buddha today and his enlightenment, and how we are able to benefit from his experience because of his decision to share it with all of us. But as you leave this service, as you go next door to enjoy some refreshments or go next door to see the exhibits, I hope we carry with us Shakyamuni Buddha's intent to be able to share with all our appreciation of the world in which we exist, the compassion that we receive, the kindness with which we might be able to respond. Today, in this Hondo, we observe this Bodhi Day service. There are so many changes that have taken place in our lives and in how we are able to conduct ourselves here at the Betsuin. And it's a kind of a nice change to be able to be here in the Hondo, to join together as a Sangha, to be in this center of our temple. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Rinban, for all that information that you gave us. And it's true, we've been through a lot the last 2 years. And unfortunately, let's hope everybody gets better and we can go back to the original parts that we have been doing. Okay, we're going to have Gatha. Okay, we're going to have Ondokusan number 2, page 76.
知識の音読も骨を砕きてもシャスべし。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。
ナモアミダ仏。
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 Thank you. Please be seated.
I think there's a presentation by Mr. Nishimura. No? He's not going to do it? Okay, so I guess we don't have a presentation. Oh. That was great. Thank you very much. We really needed that, right? I just want to thank everybody for being here for Bodhi Day. This is my first time I've ever been chairperson, so I have like 2 pieces of paper that everybody was giving me. It was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go through it. So I hope you enjoy Bodhi Day. Is there any announcement? Okay.
While they're coming up, next week is a regular service schedule, so we'll go back to our 9:30 and 10:10 service schedule. But the following week is, of course, Christmas Day, and so we'll take a break that weekend. And then the following week is New Year's, and so we'll observe our New Year's Day service 10 o'clock in the annex. And hopefully we'll be okay in the annex on January 1st. On December 31st, we'll observe Joyaye service, the New Year's Eve service here in the Hondo. It's a kind of a nice gathering. The last service of the year, we read Shoshinge together. So if you can, please. Oh, and that's right. Our guest speaker for Joyaya service, the New Year's Eve service, will be Reverend Mikame, who will join us from her home in Shimane, from her temple, family temple, Tokuzenji in Shimane. So it'll be a fun evening. So please plan, if you can, to be here for that Joyaya service, 7 o'clock on the eve, December the 31st.
Hi, I'm Katie. And I'm Jacqueline. There's a junior YBA bake sale happening in the gym right now. We would appreciate it if you could come by and support us. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm May Kawamoto with Dharma School. I almost said DSPO. Okay, so we're getting back to normal. So some of the confusion today was on me. So I take the blame for that one. But I just wanted to reiterate Sensei's mention about, on behalf of DSPO, serving refreshments in the annex after this. So please join us there. And then that group up there with the junior choir was awesome. We should have a junior choir group that big. So anyone interested in joining, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Alyssa.
And I'm Chiami.
We are from Girl Scout Troop 61052. For our Silver Award project, we are building a lending library which will be placed by the Education Building. One of our goals for this project is to help keep Japanese culture alive in Japantown by sharing Japanese cultural books or any books for our community.
Please help us get started by donating books in the box at the entrance of the Hondo. We would especially appreciate any books related to the Japanese culture.
Thank you.
One more announcement. There will be a Dharma School Mochitsuki next week. So we won't have, the kids will be allowed to pound, but you won't be taking that mochi home. So the Dharma School DSPO will actually help make the mochi and shape it on Saturday. So they should be pre-packaged for you to take home. So we'll have lots of events and activities for the kids to do. So Hanamatsuri events, right? Thank you.
Wow, you make it sound like we don't trust the kids making mochi, man. No, that's always a fun event. Hopefully everyone will show up for that. A couple things. I have to remember what I was supposed to say. So speaking of challenges and things, and I know many of you have seen me talk about this before, but as you know, we're trying to build a new Dharma Center. It's going to replace our old education building. So hopefully everyone can help us out with that. Take advantage of the tax advantage before the end of the year for those of you who think about that kind of stuff. Like myself, I've split my pledge into some this year and some next year, just from a tax point of view. So keep that in mind. Lastly, I found out this morning that, so every year we have an annual meeting, general membership meeting. And it's always, basically, usually on right after the Bodhi Day service. Last year we had a virtual event. This year we'll also have a virtual event. It seems to be more well attended. So it will be this afternoon, but I found out that the information on how to get to this Zoom meeting has been kind of buried. I thought it was out there. Again, this is my fault. I didn't get it out there, but it's on the website. If you don't have it, you might have gotten an email with the link to the Zoom meeting. If not, you can go to the church website, and under the resources tab, you'll scroll down and you'll get to the Dharma newsletters. And if you have the December Dharma newsletter, if you go into that newsletter towards the bottom, there's a page on the information with the link to that Zoom meeting. So hopefully you can join us. Unfortunately, we didn't plan it very well. There's a Niner game this afternoon, so I don't know. I'm not sure what the participation will be, but if you can join us, please feel free. Okay, thank you.
Thank you again for joining us for Bodhi Day service. This was very exciting for me to do this, so I think I'll do it again too. So if anybody else wants to be chairperson, let me know and we will arrange it. Thank you. Can you join me in Gassho again? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nama Amida Butsu. And don't forget to come up and do Oshoko. Thank you, everybody.